A freak accident at sea just injured 1 in 10 cruise passengers as the cruise ship's automated system took over and swerved. Plus, Carnival Cruise Line is yet again experiencing another technical difficulty, engine troubles on a Vista-class ship, and Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, successfully completes another round of sea trials. Let's roll the intro. Hey, welcome to the Midships channel. It's your Captain Corey. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today. Welcome aboard Royal Caribbean's Explorer of the Seas, and well, welcome into my room here for this 13-night cruise. This is the most controversial room on board the whole ship, a connecting promenade view interior. I'm gonna do a full video on this to let you know if you should or shouldn't book this room. It's kind of noisy, y'all. Now let's get into today's top story. We're heading over to Europe with a cruise line called Saga Cruises. They have a ship that was built in 2019 called the Spirit of Discovery, and she left on October 24th out of the UK on a 14-night sailing, which included stops in the Canary Islands and, well, all over the place. It's a 14-night cruise, right? Got a lot of itineraries to do. Well, unfortunately, as she made her way back through the Bay of Biscay, which is just off the west coast of France or north of Spain, for those of you geographically challenged like myself, yeah, I had to look it up too, the ship encountered a freak storm, and this was a massive storm with waves reportedly hitting 30 feet high, winds over 50 miles an hour. And something about the weather conditions at the time triggered an automated takeover by the ship's guidance computer to immediately stop the ship. Well, there was a problem with this system. It actually swerved the ship at high speed while revving up the engines, causing passengers, crew members, and furniture and items on the ship to go tumbling on board. This resulted in 100 or more injuries on board the Spirit of Discovery. And now, most of these were most likely minor injuries. However, at least 5 passengers reportedly have gone to the hospital with injuries. This is obviously a pretty big situation, and we need to look into what went wrong when the computer took over, causing the engines to rev up to high speed and immediately turn the ship to the side. And following this extremely frightening situation, the ship coasted to a stop where it actually just remained for about 18 hours, riding out these stormy conditions. I can only imagine what it was like on board the ship, especially after such a shocking incident took place. Spirit of Discovery is now back in port with all of her passengers safely back to land. We wish everybody a speedy recovery, especially the 5 or so passengers who sustained larger injuries than just your minor bumps and bruises and cuts. Let's take the cruise news over to the west coast of the United States. We're talking Carnival Panorama, a Vista-class cruise ship. She's currently operating cruises down in the Mexican Riviera. I actually took one on the Panorama in January of this year. It's a beautiful ship. Her first sailings were sometime back in 2019. She has yet to even go into her very first dry dock. It's so new. Well, the Panorama is once again experiencing technical difficulties with the ship's propulsion system, causing her to be unable to reach her top speed. And because of this, the current itinerary, well, it's going to be cut, well, not short, but ports are going to be cut out. The ship is unable to reach Puerto Vallarta and Mazatlan, Mexico. As a result, the cruise line is, well, going to spend a lot more days at sea. They will be compensating the guests on board with some onboard credit for the problem. But what is going on with this Vista class of ship? Remember, this is a class that every single one of the ships that live in it have had technical propulsion problems, if not once, but multiple times. And yet again, we see the Carnival Panorama experiencing such difficulties. Carnival Cruise Line, I think it's time to really consider overhauling the propulsion systems on these ships. But you know what doesn't need overhauling? Well, it's all the items in the Midships Amazon store. In there, you can find everything I personally bring with me every single time I cruise. I love these products, and I think you'll love them too. It's a great way to support my work and get something amazing just by clicking a few buttons on Amazon. Check it out. There's a link in the description down below. Now, let's talk about arguably the most exciting cruise ship of our lifetimes, Royal Caribbean's Icon of the Seas. She set out for her second round of sea trials back on October 29th, and those sea trials have now been completed. And Royal Caribbean put a bow on this gift to us by tweeting out that she aced her second round of sea trials. She's ready to go. She is now back in port, receiving some final finishing touches, including her iconic carousel, which is finally turning around on board the ship. You can see here in a video that was posted to x.com, formerly Twitter. Now, obviously, there's some work left to do because where are the horses? Where are the carriages on this carousel? But at this point, Icon of the Seas is only about 80 days or so from her inaugural sailing. So I'm getting pretty excited to see the sights and sounds coming out from this brand new class of ship from Royal Caribbean. If you made it this far into today's episode, why don't you consider subscribing here to the Midships channel? Join the 21,000 other Midships family members here, receiving fun, entertaining, and enlightening cruise news here most days of the week. While you're down there subscribing, slam that thumbs up button if you think Carnival needs to fix this Vista class of ships, and needs to fix it now. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel today, and until tomorrow, which could be a very, very stormy day at sea, just judging by the weather map, we'll see ya on the Midships. La 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 la